Well, hello. I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for coming by. And welcome to Kathy's Wild World. I have so much to show you and so much to share with you on this channel. So stick around. You'll see what I'm talking about. I have worked so hard my entire life. As a kid, I worked on the farm, in the fields, in the garden, in the house, and as an adult, I worked as a waitress, a bartender, a flight attendant. I worked in sales, I worked for a startup. But my last corporate job was at a bank, and I was the senior vice president in charge of information technology. So I made the whole network run and supported all the users. And I got paid six figures a year for that, which, as someone who grew up picking cotton for 2 cents a pound, that was a lot of money. I'd wake up every day in my beautiful condo with its stunning view and all my nice things and my company car, and I would think to myself that I was just living like a princess. Then I'd go to work and sell my soul for 10 to 15 hours a day, and usually 6 to 7 days a week. It was overwhelming stress, and the responsibilities and the new projects, it was just never ending. I always felt like I was just doing the work of six people. And they promised me that when the bank sold, I would be rewarded for my dedication and for all the hours that I put in. When that day finally came and the bank sold, the five executives at the top, well, they decided that they deserved all the money. I got nothing, as did so many other people who had been there for 20 years. After a decade of sacrifice, I was just basically sold to the new bank like I was a piece of furniture. On that exact same day that the bank sold, I had to be out of my condo because the landlord decided to sell it. After living there 10 years, she gave me a 30-day notice. So I lost my job and my home in a single day. That was a bit tough. Um, and that's when it hit me. I was never a princess. I was a prisoner. And I finally realized that I was in a prison where the door had always been unlocked. All I had to do was open it. The security that I felt was just an illusion. I had sold my soul for what I thought was peace of mind and a paycheck and security, but it wasn't real. And so that day I made myself a promise that I would never sell my soul again. A month before all of that happened, I had been accepted to my first big art show, and it was a 2 month summer show, and I only had a very short time to prepare for it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but gosh, I love being an artist. There's no money in it, but I loved being an artist. I loved hanging out with other artists. I was in my element. I was so happy during that show, and I did it for a couple more summers after that. But as far as money and working, it's been tough at times. But I realize that life is too short for things like what I used to do at the bank with auditors and risk assessments and disaster recovery plans and routers and firewalls and servers. I just can't believe that I did that to myself for so many years. But all of that feels like a distant memory now. And um, in the years between leaving the bank and finding this place, those were some of the hardest of my life. I moved from California to Memphis, and I didn't mean to stay there that long, but 2020 happened, and I got stuck there for 3 years. And I got through it by rescuing cats and kittens. And I never forgot the promise that I made to myself that I was just going to find a little farmhouse and live a life in peace. So finding this house was a miracle, and being able to buy it in 2022 was another miracle. The housing market was insane. Every house had 50 buyers or more competing for it. And when the person selling this house looked at all the offers, his girlfriend picked my offer out of the stack and she just handed it to him and said, "This house is her house. It belongs to her." And she was right. And since that day, it's been one miracle after another. And this place was in rough shape when I got here, but working on it inside and out has been the most healing thing I've ever done. I grew up on my grandmother's farm, and so much of what I do here honors her memory. And there were things I wanted to help her with back then, but I was just a kid without the tools or the knowledge. And so now I do those things for myself, and I can feel her beside me so much of the time. Um, Today I'm just like so blessed and so happy. I just feel like the world can't take it away from me. I'm so happy. And I've learned it's not about what you do for a living, it's what you do for a life. And I may not have as much money, but now there is life where once there was none, because all I did before was work. I was a workaholic. So here in my wild world now, I share my days with deer who know their names and come when I call them. There's Myrtle, the brave mama deer with a broken foot, and Clifford, the wild turkey, who's become part of the family. I have a baby raccoon who climbs into my lap, and there are squirrels and chipmunks and possums and groundhogs and so many other animals that I'm excited for you to meet. And so this is where I'm going to document the daily miracles, the quiet moments, the profound connections between human and wild. Some videos will be peaceful and meditative, just the sounds of nature and the animals. Others will tell their stories and share their personalities. And then there will be videos of before and afters of projects that have already finished and so many others that need to be finished. And I realized that it's okay to let go of everything you've been to become everything you were always meant to be. I have come home to myself, and this is where I belong. And I'm so blessed to be here and to know that. So, welcome to Kathy's Wild World. I am so glad you're here.